Hey, this is Silent Partner. Welcome back to the channel. This is about the Bible, a synopsis, and I am Teach. And each week we go through one book of the Bible, and I give you a synopsis of what that book is about. Brief synopsis in case you've never read it before and you just want to, I don't want to read the whole book. I just want to know what it's about. Or maybe you have read it and you've been a little bit confused, and hopefully this clarifies any confusion and makes it simple for you. So today we're looking at the book of First Samuel. Okay, but before I get into First Samuel, I just want to say, if you've been watching the channel, a couple of episodes ago we did the book of Judges, and in the last episode we did Ruth. And I explained to you in the last episode that Ruth is also set during the time of the judges of Israel. So if you're not sure what judges are, go back to that episode and just have a listen to that episode, and it should explain to you all about the judges, who they are, where they come from, what they do, and what they stand for. And then the book of Ruth, as I said, is set during the time of judges, and this book itself, First Samuel, is also set during the time of the judges of Israel, and Samuel is one of the last judges in Israel. Okay, so grab your notepads, your pens, and I'm going to read through my notes now. And as I'm reading through my notes, you should be taking your own notes and we should be learning together. Okay, good. Right, so the book of First Samuel bridges the people of Israel from a time when they were led by judges to the beginning of the monarchy. The book opens with this heartfelt prayer by this woman called Hannah. And Hannah is in anguish over the fact that she can't have any children. So she's praying this prayer in the temple, and she's seen by the high priest, who's Eli, and he said that he believes that she's drunk, and tells her, you shouldn't be drunk in the temple. But she says, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just in anguish over my inability to have any children. So he says, go your way, your prayers have been answered. So soon after this, God answers her prayer, and she is gifted with a son. So while she was praying this prayer, she says, Lord, if you give me a child and I have a son, I'll give my son back to you. And indeed, she does have a son. Okay, so she takes her son to the temple and she hands him over to Eli, who raises him in the temple. And she names this son Samuel. Okay, so his destiny is also kind of intertwined with the whole future of Israel. And he's raised by Eli. So Eli has two sons, and his sons turn out to be horrible, horrible people. So God overlooks his sons and he chooses Samuel. Okay, and Samuel grows up to be a great, great man of God and one of the final judges in Israel, and also a great prophet. The Bible says that God didn't allow not even one word of Samuel to fall to the ground. Okay, so he judges Israel for a time, and he's an amazing judge. He goes around all of Israel, from doing a circuit each year, judging each tribe. And when he gets old, he also has two sons, and when he gets old, he hands the reins over to them, and they become judges in Israel. But they don't judge the same way he judges, and they are not fair, and they turn out to be horrible, horrible people. So the people of Israel say, we don't want your sons judging us. In fact, you know what? We don't even want judges anymore. We want a king. Give us a king to rule over us, take us out into battle, and to be our monarch. So Eli is deeply distressed by this, and he goes into prayer, and he starts speaking to God, and he says, God, something has to be done. Something must be able to be done. This is not good. But God directs him and he says, no, give them a king. Give the people what they have asked for. So Samuel, God chooses this man called Saul, and Samuel anoints him as king over Israel. So Saul reluctantly takes on the role of king. Initially, Saul embodies, though, the qualities of a promising king, even though he's reluctant. But then, because of power and authority, Saul falls into arrogance and disobedience, which leads to his downfall. And as I was saying, this shows the challenges and responsibilities that come with God-given authority and power. Okay, so this is where we're introduced to David. So David is someone who is overlooked by absolutely everybody, including his own father. But this is the person whom God chooses. So David has this legendary triumph over this Philistine giant named Goliath, and that is the beginning of his extraordinary journey, okay, which is further amplified by his deep bond with Jonathan, who happens to be Saul's son. Okay, so David gains fame by defeating Goliath, and David's fame creates rivalry with Saul, who is king at the time. And Saul becomes increasingly jealous of David's rise to fame. So what does he do? He decides he's going to kill him. Okay? But David holds on to his faith in God and his relationship with God. So despite all of David's challenges, his faith in God remains steadfast, and he is eventually recognized as Saul's successor. So that's First Samuel. So throughout First Samuel, we can see the consequences of disobedience, divine sovereignty, and we see the complexities of leadership. The book ends with Saul's downfall, really, paving the way for David to ascend to the throne and setting the stage for David's reign and the future of Israel. Okay, and this is First Samuel. Thank you.